Do you ever wish that after you graduated high school, your parents would have given you the option to take a gap year? You may be thinking, hell yeah, I would have loved that. Or you may be thinking, no, I was perfectly happy to start college when I did. Regardless of which one you were thinking, I bet it wouldn't have hurt to at least have been given the option. Gap years have become a bit of an odd practice. Today, it is expected of you to pick a college, make a big decision on what you want to do with the rest of your life, practically before you even graduate high school, and go with it. I personally would have jumped at the opportunity to take a gap year, mainly because I had no clue what I wanted to do to go to school for at the time, and I didn't really think spending money on at least 1 year of school was a good idea, because if for some reason I decided that college wasn't for me, that money would have been wasted. The problem is that parents are too worried that if their kids are allowed to take an entire year off of schooling, it'll turn them into the laziest living organisms on the planet, when in most cases, that just simply isn't true. In fact, it's the furthest thing from the truth. Harvard admissions dean William Fitzsimmons says taking time off helps students refocus and recharge for the rigors of college, and also fosters their emotional and intellectual maturity. Now, obviously, it will differ from kid to kid, but for the most part, kids who have just gotten out of school are eager to see the world, thinking ambitiously about their future, and maybe feeling a little burnt out over all the schooling they've just endured for the last 12 years. So if you ask me, an extended break is precisely what the kids need after high school. Adults, specifically parents, must be convinced that allowing their kids to take time off isn't going to be the downfall of their children's lives. How do we do this? Well, we have to show them what a gap year truly entitles, and we show them some of the benefits of taking time off, along with supporting evidence from respected sources like Mr. Fitzsimmons, who actually encourages students to take a year off before attending Harvard University. One of my sources, O'Shea, quotes a Mr. King saying, "Gap years can operate as a zone of transition for young people to do identity work and negotiate the shift from one life stage to the next." It sounds like a pretty important stage in life to have accidentally skipped. Taking a gap year can truly mean anything, but it can be a truly life-changing experience if the student wants it to be. When on a gap year, students can take time to actually think about what they want to do after college, allowing them to know exactly what major to pick when they finally do enter college at the freshman level. Taking a year off also allows students to travel, see what the world has to offer, experience new cultures, see landmarks, and go on new adventures. Students will learn independence, develop new life skills, and perhaps even build relationships, a reputation, or even a resume, depending on who you come in and connect with while you're on your gap year. The gap year can also be used for personal growth as well. Sources say that at the age of a high school graduate, most are pretty unsure of a lot of things in their life, as me included, at the time. And it would have been really nice to have been given that time to reflect on myself and figure out exactly what kind of a man I was and wanted to become, physically, mentally, and emotionally. I urge all listeners to speak to their family members about gap years, just to raise awareness and to convince people that it shouldn't be such an odd practice. Obviously, it's a little late for me or anyone else in this class, but maybe your younger siblings will get to have this kind of opportunity if you talk to your parents about it. Or maybe you could take a 6-month break between college and entering the workforce. Definitely an option. And keep it in mind for your own children. Maybe you will offer it to them in the future to help them experience the world and find their purpose in life. Gap years have become an odd practice in our generation, but they don't have to be. We could change that if we set our minds to it and started to show people that they aren't just a time period to goof off and delay going to college. I know I would have liked to have had the opportunity to take a year off and explore the world, see sights, focus on myself, and figure out what exactly I really wanted in life. In the end, the gap year is just like the rest of life. It's really only whatever you make of it, So I encourage anyone who is given the opportunity to take a gap year, make the best of it, you know. Thank you for listening. This is my visual aid. Sorry, my computer turned off. Just gonna put that up. Is it beneficial to take a year off? And then I have a list of pros and cons. And then finally, my opinion on it. And I urge anyone to take the leap. Go for it. Thank you.